Good morning. My name is Tumi Tladi, and today it's Saturday, early hours of the morning, the 3rd of July 2021. Time it's 15 minutes after 4 a.m. Let's get down to business, shall we? Okay, so have you subscribed? Have you told your friends about the goodness of this YouTube content? You know I'm good. I'd like to apologize once again for the computer that in some previous videos or episode that it has shown to be slow, especially Visual Studio as IDE. I never had issues, like serious issues with internet connectivity, but Visual Studio, but I did, do certain things around. I changed the browser and I'm using Firefox. It's incredible. So I really apologize for that because I promise you good video right now. I'm gonna make 2 videos. Both of them are gonna be good. Very, very good. And please, I apologize and excuse my English that now and then runs away. It runs out of airtime, it depletes, and yeah, other than that, I promise everything to be raw. I do not hide anything. Most of the time I go off the script because it's very important that I try to explain something, not because I intend to make these videos long. So let's get down to business, shall we? Okay, so in the meantime, I want to launch 2 web applications. The first one is .NET Framework. The second one is .NET Core. And then let's go to Visual Studio. Okay, in Visual Studio, because this is what I do. While I put together this content, I identify bugs and then I try to resolve them. And then I try to republish the web applications. The mobile application, I haven't done anything yet because I identified a lot of things that do not make sense. But as soon as I touch on mobile application, because I'm still going to do mobile application extensively, but now we need to understand how the web applications are being developed, and then it's very imperative that from mobile application, how do we end up having these stores? You can only have these stores on the mobile application through web application. So we're still going to get to how do you add a business, how do you add a store for the end user to end up typing, how does a store end up having this unique business number. We're still going to get to mobile application. A little bit of patience. Okay, so I was doing some changes, fixing some of the bugs, and then I do have 3 changes that I like to push to GitHub and Azure DevOps before I start. And this is going to be a series that I'm excited about. So there are 3 outgoing changes, or should I say commits, that are still yet to go up. So currently I'm on master branch. That's how it's supposed to be done. So while I still figure itself out, let me click push. So what it's doing right now, it's going straight to GitHub because I configured GitHub to be a primary cloud repository service that it would connect to, both push and pull. Okay, but after this, I'm also gonna push my commit to Azure DevOps. You see, writing objects, and then it should tell me that, hey, successfully. So this doesn't matter anymore. So they went, now it's 0, but I can also push them to Azure DevOps, and we're gonna verify that, push to Azure DevOps. What it does is, let's go and verify in GitHub if they did arrive. These are changes that I made yesterday. Okay, and also in Azure DevOps. Cool. So in the meantime, you see, I need to learn to stay in one thing before I move around because I watch my own videos and then I feel like I confuse people. It's fine. Okay, so yeah, I've been busy. As you can see, I've been on my new system, C versus C. You see, 18 hours ago, I've been busy pushing some stuff in identical docs also. You see, 1 minute ago, I've been busy pushing some stuff. So let's go to identical docs. And then here, identical docs, just to make sure that they moved from my Visual Studio now to both of my cloud repository services. I'm just going to call them cloud repository services from now on. So in GitHub, as you can see, the number of commits are still incrementing, but that's not what I care about. You see, 17 hours ago, I was doing some stuff, both in ASP.NET MVC web application targeting .NET framework, and then also ASP.NET MVC targeting .NET Core. So I was doing some work. So that one is out of the way. It's the same thing that happens we can also see that on Azure DevOps. As you can see, yesterday and then yesterday. Good. So that means that they were pushed successfully. So when I'm done, now we switch now to YouTube branch, because this is the branch that it's meant for this YouTube content that I did not tamper, I did not do anything. So this is important that I do this, because then it has to do with the level of a discipline that I have as a developer, as a programmer. You know, I'm very, very self-disciplined, trust me. But I'll do this. I have a YouTube playlist meant for version control. We're gonna do this, what it means to move from one branch to the other branch, and then how do you merge the changes from the previous branch to the new branch, all of that. So once you do this, you need to go to master and make sure that you merge into the current branch, so that YouTube always have the latest changes, that any branch you're gonna move to from master, you should make sure that that branch is going to have the latest changes, and then you will see that the message is going to say updated with some stuff. Don't worry about reloading, it needs to do this. It's imperative. What we're going to do today, we're not going to be long. We're going to do manage, like we're going to find a way to manage the account after the user has been authenticated on the web application. So I'm also going to show the version of .NET Core that I haven't done much for managing the account, but they can give me a little bit of, a glimpse or a sneak peek into how it's been set up by default. It's just that with .NET Core, I haven't really finished setting it up for identity system. I think I'm talking slow, and I like it. Good, because when I watch these videos, it's like I fly and I'm away. Okay, so let's wait for this guy. Well, we don't have to wait for it. Let's go quickly and authenticate ourselves on both platforms. Let's start with .NET Framework. This one, it's the first web application I started with. It works perfectly like a charm. It's good. Okay, so let me start with this one. I'm gonna use test1 account. Let's wait for Firefox to tell me this is the account, and then I'm gonna authenticate myself. So this is account operations, because I'm authenticating myself. Once I'm successfully authenticated and now authorized, then this guy, it's what we call manage operations. So I'm gonna click, and then let's wait for it. I believe it's gonna pop up something at the bottom here. Let's give it a second. There we go. It says success message. There's nothing at the moment. I did this intentionally. Okay, so we need to do the same thing for this platform .NET Core, and then I'll tell you why. Because in manage account, that's where you can change your password, and we should try that. We should change the password, and then should we though? No. Okay, right, it's fine. Let me go and click manage. But this one is not configured, but they're gonna show me the default template. It's not configured. It works, but it's not designed. When I say configured, it's not designed according to my unique requirements. I hope that I'm making sense. And also this shows that I'm using one database, for both .NET Framework and .NET Core. I hope now this guy's done. Okay, you see repository update to commit. That's the latest one. Did I click X? Oh no, good. Okay, so we're gonna focus on this guy. But let's start with the .NET Core version. You see, this is terrible design. but there's a quality design. So I haven't really designed this one, but there's a default template. You see, it says profile, email. You can now tamper with the profile. You can tamper with email. You can tamper with the password. We change your password. You can do two-factor authentication. You can do personal data. We're gonna do this one and next up. And also in here, we're gonna do two-factor authentication next up. By default, it's but right now it's disabled. So you can, do password. You can change your password. Phone number. You can change your phone number. And then, yeah, we've done this one. But I'm gonna tamper with two-factor authentication. So this guy, for profile, if I click, something happens. Let's see what happens. Let's give it a second. This is .NET Core. Yes, I've done, what I was teaching myself .NET Core, like what is to be expected for profile. It just shows that, hey, this is your username, but you can't change it. This is your phone number. You can also show certain things if you want to. Here you can also show certain things if you want to, and then for email, they will show you your email, and you can see the route is changing, or should I say the page is changing. There we go. So here they show your current email, and then you can change it if you want to, and you can just click change email. Password, the same thing. Let's give it a second. The route is changing from email now to change password. Page, current password. You can enter a new one. You can confirm the new password, and then two-factor authentication. It's what we're gonna do, but this one is different because this one is using Authenticator application. It's been set up differently, and then I'm gonna do this one, and then I'll come back and make a video that I did set it up. It's fantastic, and then we're gonna test this one out. Okay, but in here, it's what I'm gonna do the next video, not now. Personal data, this is where you download your data. Your account contains personal data that you have given us. This page allows you to download or delete that data. Deleting this data will permanently remove your account, and this cannot be recovered. So you can click delete, and then you can delete your account here. So this is the flexibility of .NET Core. Other than that, you can download. It's in JSON format, and then the extension file is JSON. So now you understand what's happening here. In here, what we can do change the password. It's gonna move from this to change. You see, it's been properly designed, because I did it and it works. You can do it, it works, but I'm not gonna do it now. Cancel. And then phone number, you can change it. We did it in one of the previous videos. Please check the previous videos. We can add phone number where we tamper with this guy to be false. We did this thing extensively in previous videos. Okay, I should have a cancel button here. See, these are small things I should do, and then this is what we're gonna be doing right now. Okay, so I'm only gonna enable it, but let me show you the code before I enable this. Let's start with .NET Core version of this web application. We're gonna go to areas, identity, pages. So you see the folder, it's only meant for account operations. And now feature account operations, I'm not finished with them because there's no register page. There isn't certain things in here. And now the manage also is not in here, but in future, this is how you would add it. You go to identity or right click. In future, I'm not gonna do it now, but I'm just gonna show you how you would add it. You say add. These options are new. These two options are new. Publish identity, replace identity from server are new. They are probably new with this updated version of Visual Studio, but they were not here. Okay, so you would say let's add a new scaffolded item. That's what you need to click. Okay, and give it a second to spin. There's a dialog that needs to pop up. So this is me going off the script, but this is me understanding why I'm going off the script, that this is how, so you know that by default they are there, the templates, but this is how you would add them. Okay, and make sure that you are on identity on the left. It says add code required for using ASP.NET Core identity in the application. You see, that's why I keep on calling this operations identity system. If you click add, so mine is already being set up because I don't have enough time, right? I don't have enough work for school, and my other work I'm balancing it nicely. I'm gonna come back and do this. Hence, you saw that I had 3 commits that I pushed. Those were me fixing minor things, but I'm also going to do extensive stuff because I'm passionate about my system. I still want to continue to build the system. This is a way for me to continue to learn and reinforce my learning capacity for these new technologies, and yeah, I just want to continue as a developer. So it needs to do this: build the project first to ensure that there are no issues. That's a tip. Make sure that you don't have any errors, or this is gonna fail. This scaffolding is gonna fail if there are any errors. And then when you do this, just to touch a bit on version control, make sure that you're on a different branch when you do this. Please make sure. And then when you scaffold an item for identity, just do one thing and one thing only. So in account, you saw there was login page, logout page, confirm email page, and so forth. Do one thing and one thing only on a different branch and make sure that it works. Make sure that it works, and then go and merge the changes to the master branch. And then redeploy it. You can run it locally, but redeploy it to production, test it. And now you can know that for sure that this part of the task was done for identity system. Then you go back, let's say it was login page, you do log out, and then on a different branch, you test it. When it works according to whatever you want, then we're talking about you design the page for logout. You make sure that what happens when you click the logout button, the get operations, and what happens when you click the button, official button now to log out, the post operation. Make sure that out of everything, it's perfectly been done. Everything, absolutely everything. Okay, it seems like I may have made a mistake by doing this because now it's taking a bit long, and it wasn't supposed to be like this. But I know it's building the project. Okay, nevertheless. Now, so when it comes to two-factor authentication.NET Core, it's using the Authenticator app. I've done it before. It's incredible. This is a new thing I love about .NET Core. Like, they de-authenticate me. They want to know if am I still, it's like the session is expired. I love this. I wish that we can do it for .NET Framework, but this is a flexibility. I love it. So that if you walk away from your workstation for 2 minutes, and then it automatically requires you to re-authenticate yourself. So this Authenticator app, when you click it, I think it generates this QR code, I believe. But I'm gonna set this thing up maybe sooner. Yes. So they want you to scan this, they want you to download their instructions. I've done this. It's quite interesting. You scan the key or you enter this number. Yeah, I've done this, and then you verify, and then only then it will set up with that two-factor authentication. Okay, but let's do the one. Let me check first if that one is not done. There we go. Sorry about that. So what you do, you can do override all. Don't do this. Do not do this. That's stupidity. Do not do this. Do not. Especially when you're on version control. So in this case, I would go for manage. Firstly, I need the page. Manage. Yes, it's a manage. Manage index. I will start with this manage index, and then I would select my data, which is coming from core DAO, that project it knows automatically, and then I will just click add. That's how you do it. Okay, so we are done with .NET Core. Cancel. Okay, so controller, MVC, and then manage controller. That's what we're gonna focus on. Okay, while this guy loads in the background, let's go and enable two-factor authentication for this application, and that's it. Then the next video, then you will see how I'm actually doing this. However, the challenge with this thing is gonna be the email, because I want to, you know what we should do? Let's go back to this one. Check the email. Let's change the email for this account. Oh, no, the email is perfect because this is my personal email account, so that I have access to it. No, it's perfect, because as soon as we enable two-factor authentication, I'm gonna show you in the next video that I can receive the code via email and SMS. We're gonna do both of that and how it has been set up. Okay, it's still loading, but let's click this guy so we can finish. You just click there and it's gonna enable it. That's it. And then you're gonna see the success message down here. And then mind you that it's going to the production database. It triggered that, and then that's it. And then I'm showing you that you enabled two-factor authentication, and then that's a success. And you can see that it's enabled. You can disable it. And then as soon as I log out, this one, let's log out here first. Log out, and then let's log out from here. Log out. We're gonna log in back again. This one I know is gonna prompt you for that two-factor authentication, but I want to start. I'm curious about .NET Core version, so let's see what .NET Core version it's gonna do. Oh, it's all about. Quickly, and then test one. That is .NET Core smart enough to know that, yes, look at it. It's going to send code. I love it. But we don't have the page for it. So it's going there, but we don't have the page for it. Send code. But it knows that do not allow this person because we configured this. And that's on the login. Please check the one of the previous videos on the login, and then just pause it where you can see that what happens when it's successful, only when two-factor authentication is being set up. So this one I'm done. Cool. Now this one, that's what we're gonna be doing next up. For test one, login. There we go. So this one I've designed it where you can choose, is it going to, you see, do you want us to go to send it to a phone or email? So we're gonna do this next up. Stay tuned for that. Before you disappear, this is the page that showed up on the manage, the index. This is the one. This is the page where we're getting phone number async to check the phone number for the specific user that's currently authenticated. And this is how we get the user that's currently authenticated, the user ID. And then we are going to check if they have the password. There's a helper method at the bottom. And then for this user, we're going to check their phone number. We're going to get the phone number. For this user, we're going to get two-factor enabled, the state of it. And then for this user, we're going to check if they want to remember two-factor for this browser. So, and then we're just returning that. That's it. And then me having to enable two-factor authentication, here it is. Me clicking that enable, this is what happened. Okay, to say for the current user that's logged in, we're going to toggle this thing to be true. So we're going to set two-factor enabled async. As you can see, it takes in the user ID and it takes the state enabled. So I'm saying yes, we're enabling this one, and that's it. And then we're going to find the user based on that user ID. And then if we found the user, and then we're going to continue to send them in. It's very important that we continue to send them in. And we're going to redirect it to that index page again. I hope this makes sense. When we disable, it's vice versa. Similar thing where we are just toggling from true now to false. Find the user by that ID. Make sure that we found the user. and then we keep on signing them in and then redirect to index, but with a disabled message. That's it. That's how simple. It doesn't need the views, it doesn't need anything. So yes, it's possible to have the action method without the views. It's possible. And then the action method without the get, because these are handling the post. Then that's it. Cool. Thank you very much. Then let's meet on the next video, where it's gonna be quite interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Absolutely informative. For now, I am out.